relevant and comprehensive matter. The growing number of stakeholders with different goals and polycentric cultures, their own identical original traditions. The global complexity makes it much more difficult and complicated to come up with this new approaches towards global security, but it gives us new opportunities. The bloc-style ways that are doomed to give rise to confrontation have become anachronic, pointless. We see that our European neighbors are now trying to patch up the cracks and plaster the cracks of the edifice of Europe. They want to overcome this cleft, to strengthen the shaken unity that they were so proud of and flaunted with, not because of resolving, not with the help of resolving their own domestic problems, but, stoking up the enemy image. But people in those countries are wise enough to, take to the streets, and despite they stoke up situation at the outer border, they try to recreate the well-known enemy that they invented hundreds of years ago, Russia. And many people in Europe do not know what's so horrible about Russia. Why should they tighten their belts countering Russia, forgetting about their own interests, sacrificing them, and acting in their own detriment? But the ruling elites of the United Europe try to stoke up hysteria. They say that the war with the Russians is in the offing, and they keep repeating that gibberish over and over again. I look and hear what has been said. I'm bewildered. Can they be serious? Can they believe in what they're saying, that Russia is trying to attack them? This is impossible to believe, and they try to convince their own people of that, and they may be non-competent. Either non-competent if they believe in that, because it's impossible to believe in this nonsense, or they may be decent enough, because they do not believe in that themselves, but try to convince their own people. Just calm down and sleep quiet, and try to get to grips with your problems. Look at what has been happening at the European streets, what has been happening with the European economy and industry, huge crisis in their culture and identity, huge debt burden, and growing social welfare system, migration that has been out of control, growth of violence, radicalization of leftist, ultra-liberal, racist, marginal groupings. Look at Europe being relegated to the periphery of the global competition. We all know that the threats, aggressive threats towards Russia that Europe has been trying to intimidate itself with are far-fetched. And the auto-suggestion is a dangerous thing, and we cannot, unfortunately, fail to pay heed to that, and we must take that into consideration because of the need to sustain our